All right, going over some of these homework videos. This is homework A, bringing home dinner. We have this spider who's pulling the mass, and there's some information given us based on the mass that it's pulling, and that turns into an acceleration value. So that's what this table is here. We have our masses and our accelerations. So with that information in hand, we can start going through and creating our graph. I probably should have done this like ahead of time because this is going to be like an obnoxiously long video. So if you want to just like fast forward this part, my feelings won't be hurt. But I got to do it. So 2 and 1.5 and 4 and 0.75. So exciting. I'm glad you guys are here for this. And 5 and 0.6 and 7 and 0.4 and 12 and 0.3 and 18 and 1.5. Should be something like that, and my line of best fit should be roughly, that could have been better, but there you go. Okay, so that's what that should look like. Shouldn't have been a problem for you guys at all. Graphing's easy. Then we go through and we say, all right, based on the graph that we created, identify the relationship between acceleration and the mass of the object, fill in the blanks, and you should definitely recognize that this is what the graph looks like. And we should notice that as mass increases, the acceleration was decreasing. And therefore acceleration is inverse to mass. I don't think anybody had a hard time with that, but there's the answer to that part. These are the ones where people struggle a little bit more, and they're asking for you guys to create a linear relationship. So obviously that is not a linear relationship. There are two ways that you could go about this. The first one is just by recognizing what kind of graph we have here. This is an inverse graph, which tells us what we have to do to this axis to make it linear. If it's an inverse graph, then we have to graph the inverse of our x-axis to make it work. The other way that you can do that is you can just recognize what the equation should look like. Acceleration is equal to the sum of the forces over the mass. And you can see that in this equation, mass is inversely related to acceleration. So I want to graph on my y-axis would be acceleration, and on my x-axis, it would be 1 over m. So then it asks what's the physical meaning of the slope in this graph. And that's pretty easy to figure out. We have acceleration equals, it's right here, the equation, but I'm going to change it just a little bit. Sum of the forces times 1 over m. Now, I just figured out what my y-axis is. It's this. I just figured out what my x-axis, it's this. So based on what we know about how graphs work, y equals mx plus b, my slope must be that thing right there. So if you were going to linearize it, then the slope of it would be m, and we would find out that I think the slope is 3. So there you go. That's how you do homework number 1. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Got to pause the video. It's taking a while. And great.